Staff Sergeant Maya Castellanos stepped into the briefing tent and felt 17 pairs of eyes evaluate her like a weapon that might misfire. The betting started before she'd even found a seat. $20 says she requests extraction within the first hour, murmured Petty Officer Rodriguez to his teammate. The other SEAL nodded, already mentally counting his winnings while studying her gear with obvious skepticism. Lieutenant Commander Hayes cleared his throat, but the damage was done. The room's energy had shifted from professional readiness to barely concealed doubt. Maya had worked with regular Army units, Marine reconnaissance teams, even Air Force pararescue, but SEALs operated on a different frequency entirely. Their reputation preceded them into every room, and they knew it. Before we dive into this intense story, drop a comment and let us know what state you're watching from. Maybe you've witnessed similar courage in your community. Chief Petty Officer Morrison leaned back in his folding chair, arms crossed over his tactical vest. His weathered face carried the kind of skepticism that came from watching too many support personnel fold under pressure. "She looks like she weighs maybe 120 soaking wet," he said to Rodriguez, not bothering to lower his voice. How's she supposed to carry a wounded operator out of hostile territory? The morning sun filtered through the canvas walls, casting long shadows across the tactical maps spread on the central table. Maya counted 12 SEAL operators, 3 intelligence analysts, and 2 air support coordinators. All male except for her and 1 intel specialist who avoided eye contact. The tent smelled of gun oil, strong coffee, and the particular tension that preceded dangerous missions. Petty Officer Jackson shifted in his seat near the communications equipment, his fingers drumming against his rifle stock. "I heard they're assigning her to Overwatch position," he whispered to the operator beside him. "Probably figures she can spot targets from a safe distance while we do the real work." His companion snorted quietly, shaking his head at what they both considered a waste of valuable positioning. Lieutenant Commander Hayes spread the operational map across the table, his movements deliberate and professional despite the undercurrent of doubt filling his briefing space. The target compound sits in a valley approximately 2,000 meters from our insertion point. He began, his finger tracing the approach route. Intelligence indicates 15 to 20 hostile combatants with heavy weapons emplacements. Maya studied the terrain features, noting the elevation changes and potential fields of fire. The Overwatch position marked on the map offered excellent visibility but limited escape routes. A challenging assignment even for experienced snipers, requiring precise judgment and steady nerves under extreme pressure. She'd requested this position specifically, knowing it would put her skills to the ultimate test. Petty Officer Chan examined his weapon systems one final time, the metallic clicking of his rifle's bolt action punctuating the ambient conversation. "Think she's ever fired a shot in anger?" he asked Morrison quietly. "Most support personnel train on ranges where targets don't shoot back." His tone carried the weight of someone who'd learned the difference between practice and combat the hard way. The intelligence analyst, a thin woman named Cooper, spread reconnaissance photographs across the table beside the tactical map. "These images were taken 48 hours ago," she said, pointing to specific structures within a compound. "We've identified 3 guard towers, 2 vehicle checkpoints, and what appears to be a command bunker in the center courtyard." Maya leaned forward to examine the photographs more closely, her trained eye cataloging details that others might miss. The compound's defensive positioning showed careful planning, with overlapping fields of fire and minimal blind spots. Any assault would require precise coordination and expert marksmanship to neutralize key threats before the main force advanced. Rodriguez elbowed Jackson, nodding toward Maya's examination of the photos. "Look at her studying those pictures like she's planning a vacation," he muttered. "Probably never seen a real firefight outside of training videos." His comment drew quiet chuckles from several nearby operators who shared his assessment of her combat experience. Chief Morrison stood and approached the map, his imposing presence commanding immediate attention from the assembled team. "The mission timeline is tight," he announced, his voice carrying the authority of someone accustomed to leading men into danger. "We insert at 0300 hours, establish overwatch by 0 for 30, and begin the assault at first light." Maya checked her watch, calculating the remaining preparation time. 6 hours to finalize equipment checks, review communications protocols, and mentally prepare for what promised to be an extremely challenging operation. The overwatch position would put her alone on a ridge overlooking the target, responsible for protecting the assault team from threats they couldn't see coming. The tent fell silent as Lieutenant Commander Hayes outlined the extraction procedures, his words carrying the weight of life-and-death decisions. Each operator would carry emergency beacons, communication equipment remained paramount, and designated rally points were established in case the mission went sideways. Standard operating procedures that took on added significance in hostile territory. Petty Officer Davis cleaned his rifle scope with practiced precision, the lens cloth moving in small, careful circles. "Hope she doesn't freeze up when the shooting starts," he said to Chun, loud enough for Maya to hear. Some people look tough until bullets start flying overhead. Then they remember they're not actually bulletproof, after all. Maya completed her equipment inspection, each piece of gear carefully positioned and secured according to her personal system developed through years of field operations. Her rifle, a custom-modified platform optimized for long-range precision, drew curious glances from operators accustomed to different weapon configurations. The briefing concluded with final radio checks and equipment distribution, each team member receiving specific communication frequencies and call signs for the operation. Maya's designation was Overwatch 1, a position that sounded important but felt isolating given the skeptical atmosphere surrounding her assignment. As operators began filing out of the briefing tent, Rodriguez paused near Maya's position. "Just remember," he said with false concern, "if things get too intense up there on the ridge, don't hesitate to call for backup. We'd rather extract you early than carry you out later." His words carried a sting wrapped in professional courtesy. The equipment bay buzzed with the methodical sounds of professional preparation as operators checked weapons, tested communications, and verified ammunition counts one final time. Maya arranged her gear with the precise attention to detail that had kept her alive through 3 combat deployments, but she could feel the continued assessment from every direction. Petty Officer Thompson paused beside her equipment layout, examining her rifle configuration with obvious skepticism. "That's a lot of custom modifications for someone who's supposed to provide basic overwatch," he observed to Morrison. "Most snipers stick with standard military specifications unless they're compensating for something they lack in fundamental skills." Chief Morrison approached Maya's position, his expression carrying the weight of someone responsible for bringing his entire team home alive. "The ridge position requires absolute precision under extreme pressure," he said, his voice professional but pointed. "One missed shot could compromise the entire assault team. Are you certain you're prepared for that level of responsibility?" Maya continued her equipment inspection without looking up, her hands moving with practiced efficiency through each component check. The rifle's custom trigger had been adjusted to her exact specifications, the scope calibrated for the anticipated range and environmental conditions. Every modification served a specific purpose based on real-world experience, not theoretical training scenarios. Rodriguez and Jackson huddled near the ammunition supply, their conversation deliberately loud enough to be overheard by anyone paying attention. "Remember that last joint operation with the Rangers?" Rodriguez asked his teammate. Their designated marksman couldn't hit targets beyond 800 meters when it mattered. Had to call in air support because Overwatch failed completely. The pre-mission atmosphere carried an electric tension that Maya recognized from previous operations, but tonight felt different. SEAL teams operated with an exclusivity that bordered on arrogance, and her presence represented an unwelcome intrusion into their carefully maintained brotherhood. She understood their skepticism even as it frustrated her professional pride. Lieutenant Commander Hayes reviewed the final mission parameters with his team leaders, his voice carrying across the equipment bay as he emphasized critical timing elements. The compound's guard rotation changes every 4 hours, he explained, pointing to reconnaissance photographs. Our window for approach requires perfect coordination between overwatch elimination of sentries and ground team movement. Maya studied her assigned sector through high-powered binoculars, memorizing terrain features and calculating range estimations for potential target areas. The ridge offered commanding views of the entire compound, but also left her exposed to counter-sniper fire if hostiles identified her position. A challenging assignment that required both skill and courage. Petty Officer Davis adjusted his night vision equipment, the electronic whirring barely audible above the general preparation noise. "Think she's ever operated in complete darkness?" he asked Chin quietly. Most support personnel rely on artificial illumination that compromises operational security. Real combat happens in conditions where you can't see your own rifle sights. The communications specialist completed final radio checks with each team member, confirming frequencies and emergency protocols that could mean the difference between mission success and catastrophic failure. Maya's call sign remained Overwatch 1, a designation that sounded important but felt increasingly isolated given the skeptical atmosphere surrounding her assignment. Chief Morrison addressed the assembled team, his weathered face serious in the harsh fluorescent lighting of the equipment bay. "This operation requires absolute trust between team members," he announced, his eyes briefly settling on Maya before continuing. "Any hesitation or uncertainty could cost lives. Everyone needs to perform at their absolute best." Maya completed her final equipment check, each piece of gear positioned according to her personal system developed through years of field experience. The weight distribution felt balanced, communication equipment tested functional, and her rifle zeroed for the anticipated engagement distances. She was as prepared as training and experience could make her. Petty Officer Wilson examined his assault rifle one last time, the metallic sounds of his inspection punctuating the ambient conversation around him. "Hope Overwatch can keep up when things get kinetic," he said to Thompson. "Most people freeze when combat gets intense and fast-moving. That's when real operators earn their reputation." The mission timeline compressed as final preparations reached completion, each operator moving with the efficient purposefulness that characterized elite military units. Maya felt the familiar pre-combat mixture of anticipation and focused concentration, her mind running through contingency scenarios and engagement procedures. Rodriguez approached the tactical map one final time, his finger tracing the assault route while speaking to his team leader. "If Overwatch misses those initial targets," he said, pointing to guard positions, "will be exposed during our approach. The whole operation depends on eliminating threats we can't see from ground level." Maya shouldered her equipment pack, the familiar weight settling into place as she mentally prepared for the challenging insertion ahead. The helicopter flight would take 30 minutes, followed by a 2-kilometer approach march through difficult terrain to reach her Overwatch position before dawn. The equipment bay gradually emptied as operators moved toward their transportation, each team member carrying specialized gear optimized for their specific mission role. Maya followed the group, aware that she remained an outsider in their professional brotherhood, despite her proven capabilities and extensive combat experience. Lieutenant Commander Hayes conducted a final head count as his team assembled near the helicopter landing zone, the aircraft's rotors already spinning in preparation for immediate departure. The night air carried the smell of aviation fuel and the distinctive sound of military machinery preparing for dangerous work. Chief Morrison climbed aboard the helicopter first, his equipment secured and communication systems active as he prepared to coordinate the complex operation ahead. Each operator found their assigned position in the aircraft, weapons ready and night vision equipment prepared for the challenging insertion in a hostile territory. Maya settled into her designated seat, checking her equipment one final time as the helicopter lifted off into the darkness. The next few hours would determine whether the SEAL team's skepticism was justified or whether she could prove her capabilities under the most demanding circumstances possible. The aircraft banked toward the target area, carrying 12 elite operators and one staff sergeant who had everything to prove. Below them, hostile territory stretched in all directions, a dangerous landscape where reputation meant nothing and only performance under fire would determine who earned respect. The helicopter's rotors cut through the darkness as it approached the insertion zone, the aircraft maintaining radio silence while flying low to avoid detection. Maya felt the familiar weight of her equipment pressing against her back, each piece of gear carefully positioned for the challenging climb ahead to the Overwatch position. Petty Officer Rodriguez checked his watch in the red-filtered cabin lighting, his voice barely audible above the engine noise. Insertion in 12 minutes, he announced to his team. Hope Overwatch can handle the climb to that ridge position. It's a steep ascent in full gear through loose rock terrain. Chief Morrison studied the terrain features through night vision equipment, his experienced eye cataloging potential hazards and approach routes for his assault team. The compound sits in a natural depression, he observed to Lieutenant Commander Hayes. If Overwatch can't neutralize those guard towers, we'll be sitting ducks during our advance. Maya adjusted her rifle sling, ensuring the weapon would remain secure during the demanding climb ahead. The Overwatch position required a 1,000-meter ascent through rocky terrain, then careful positioning to establish effective fields of fire without exposing herself to counter-sniper detection. The helicopter's crew chief held up 5 fingers, indicating 5 minutes to insertion as the aircraft banked toward the designated landing zone. Each operator performed final equipment checks, securing loose items and preparing for immediate departure once they reached the ground. Petty Officer Jackson spoke quietly to Thompson near the cabin door, his words carrying clearly in the confined space. That ridge position requires someone who can move fast and quiet through difficult terrain, he said, glancing toward Maya. Most support personnel aren't trained for that kind of tactical movement under pressure. The aircraft touched down in a small clearing, rotors still spinning as operators quickly disembarked and moved away from the landing zone. Maya followed the team into the darkness, her night vision equipment revealing the challenging terrain that lay between their position and the target compound. Lieutenant Commander Hayes oriented his team using GPS coordinates and terrain features, his voice low but clear as he outlined the approach route. Ground team follows the valley floor while Overwatch takes the ridge trail, he explained. Both teams need to reach their positions before dawn for this operation to succeed. Maya separated from the main group, beginning her solo ascent toward the Overwatch position as the SEAL team moved toward their assault staging area. The rocky trail demanded careful foot placement and steady climbing rhythm to avoid dislodging stones that might alert hostile sentries. Chief Morrison watched Maya disappear into the darkness before addressing his team, his tone carrying obvious concern about the mission's critical timing. We need those guard towers neutralized exactly on schedule, he said to his operators. Any delay in Overwatch support compromises our entire approach timeline. The climb proved as challenging as anticipated, with loose rock underfoot and steep grades that tested Maya's conditioning despite her extensive training. Each step required careful placement to maintain silence, while carrying heavy equipment through terrain that offered minimal handholds. Petty Officer Davis checked his assault rifle one final time as his team moved through the valley approach, the weapon's familiar weight providing reassurance in the hostile environment. Think she can handle the pressure when targets start shooting back? He asked Wilson quietly. Some people perform well in training, but fold when combat gets real. Maya reached the halfway point of her ascent, pausing briefly to check her position and adjust equipment that had shifted during the demanding climb. The target compound remained invisible in the darkness below, but her GPS indicated she was on schedule to reach the Overwatch position before first light. The SEAL team established their staging area approximately 800 meters from the compound perimeter, close enough to observe guard movements, but far enough to avoid detection. Rodriguez used thermal imaging equipment to identify hostile positions while his teammates prepared for the coordinated assault. Chief Morrison coordinated with his team leaders through hand signals and whispered communications, the professional efficiency of their movements reflecting years of training and combat experience. Each operator understood their specific role in the complex operation that would unfold at dawn. Maya continued her ascent through increasingly difficult terrain, the trail narrowing as it approached the ridge line where she would establish her overwatch position. The physical demands of the climb tested her endurance, but she maintained steady progress toward her objective. Petty Officer Thompson adjusted his night vision equipment, scanning the compound perimeter for signs of increased guard activity. The hostiles maintained regular patrol patterns, he reported to Morrison. But if Overwatch misses those initial shots, they'll know we're here and reinforce their positions. The darkness began showing subtle signs of approaching dawn as Maya neared her destination, the eastern horizon showing the faintest hint of gray that indicated sunrise was still an hour away. Perfect timing to reach the Overwatch position and establish her fields of fire before the assault began. Lieutenant Commander Hayes reviewed the final coordination details with his team leaders, emphasizing the critical nature of synchronized timing between Overwatch fire and ground team movement. This operation depends on split-second coordination, he reminded them. Everyone needs to execute their assignments flawlessly. Maya reached the ridge line and began careful reconnaissance of the Overwatch position, using terrain features to remain concealed while establishing the best possible fields of fire toward the compound below. The position offered excellent visibility but required precise positioning to avoid detection. Petty Officer Jackson monitored radio frequencies for any indication that hostile forces had detected their presence, his sensitive equipment scanning for communications that might indicate compromised operational security. So far, the compound remained quiet, unaware of the dangerous forces moving into position. The SEAL team completed their final approach to the assault staging area, each operator moving with the silent efficiency that characterized elite military units. Their weapons remained ready for immediate action while they waited for Overwatch to signal readiness from the ridge position above. Maya established her final position among the rocks, carefully arranging her equipment to provide stable shooting platforms while maintaining concealment from potential counter-sniper threats. The compound spread below her position, guard towers clearly visible through her rifle scope. Chief Morrison checked his watch one final time, calculating the remaining time before the operation would commence. Dawn approached steadily, and success depended entirely on whether Overwatch could deliver the precise marksmanship that would allow his assault team to advance safely toward their objective. Maya settled into her Overwatch position as the first hints of dawn painted the eastern sky a pale gray, her rifle scope providing crystal-clear views of the compound's defensive positions 2,000 meters below. The guard towers stood like silent sentinels against the brightening horizon, each one manned by hostiles who remained unaware of the danger approaching. Chief Morrison's voice crackled through her earpiece with barely concealed skepticism as he conducted final communications checks with all team elements. Overwatch 1, confirm your position and field of fire assessment, he transmitted, his tone suggesting he expected limitations rather than capabilities from her elevated position. Through her scope, Maya counted 6 guards visible in the compound, with 3 manning the towers and 3 conducting ground patrols between buildings. The range was challenging even for experienced snipers, requiring precise calculations for wind drift, bullet drop, and target movement patterns. Petty Officer Rodriguez positioned his assault team at the staging area, his whispered comments to Thompson clearly audible through the communication system. "She's got to make 6 consecutive shots at extreme range," he said, shaking his head doubtfully. "Most snipers miss at least 1 target at that distance, and 1 miss alerts the entire compound." Maya adjusted her rifle's position among the rocks, using natural terrain features to create a stable shooting platform while remaining concealed from potential counter-sniper observation. The morning air remained still, minimizing wind factors that could affect bullet trajectory across the extended range. Lieutenant Commander Hayes monitored multiple radio frequencies from his command position, coordinating between Overwatch, assault teams, and extraction elements. The success of this operation hinges on perfect marksmanship from extreme range, he transmitted to his team leaders. Any failure in Overwatch support compromises everyone's safety. The compound's morning routine began as guards changed shifts and patrols adjusted their patterns, providing Maya with valuable intelligence about timing and movement sequences. She noted a 7-minute gap between guard rotations that would provide the optimal window for her shooting sequence. Petty Officer Jackson studied the compound through binoculars from his position, his voice carrying obvious concern as he spoke to his teammate. If Overwatch misses even one of those tower guards, he said to Davis, they'll have overlapping fields of fire on our approach route. We'll be completely exposed with nowhere to take cover. Maya's breathing settled into the controlled rhythm essential for precision shooting, her heart rate slowing as she entered the focused mental state required for extreme range marksmanship. Each target would require individual range calculations and precise timing to prevent alarm signals. Chief Morrison checked his watch, noting the approaching time for mission commencement as dawn light gradually improved visibility conditions. The assault team remained hidden in their staging position, weapons ready, but dependent entirely on Overwatch neutralizing the defensive positions that protected the compound. The first guard tower offered the most challenging shot due to its elevated position and the guard's tendency to move unpredictably behind partial cover. Maya calculated the range at 2,040 meters, requiring precise holdover adjustments for bullet drop at that extreme distance. Petty Officer Thompson adjusted his assault vest, the metallic clicking of his equipment barely audible as he prepared for the dangerous advance that would follow Overwatch fire. Think she's ever made shots at that range under combat conditions? He asked Wilson quietly. Training ranges don't replicate the pressure of real combat. Maya's scope revealed detailed intelligence about guard positions and defensive arrangements that would prove invaluable for the assault team's approach. She transmitted precise coordinates and threat assessments through her communication system, providing the ground team with critical tactical information. The morning light continued improving, reaching the optimal conditions for long-range precision shooting while still providing concealment for the assault team's movement. Maya noted that wind conditions remained minimal, eliminating one major variable from her shooting calculations. Lieutenant Commander Hayes reviewed the final mission timeline with his subordinate leaders, emphasizing the critical importance of coordinated timing between Overwatch elimination of guards and ground team movement. This window of opportunity lasts only minutes, he reminded them through the communication system. Maya identified the shooting sequence that would minimize alert time between targets, beginning with the most isolated guard and progressing to those in communication range of each other. The entire sequence needed completion within 90 seconds to prevent alarm signals reaching the compound's interior. Petty Officer Rodriguez observed the compound through his weapon's scope, his voice betraying anxiety about the challenging marksmanship required from Overwatch position. 6 targets at extreme range in under 2 minutes, he said to his team. That's beyond most snipers' capabilities, especially someone who's never operated with SEALs before. The compound's defensive positions became fully visible as dawn light reached sufficient intensity for detailed observation through optical equipment. Maya confirmed target positions, range calculations, and shooting sequence priorities while maintaining absolute concealment in her rocky position. Chief Morrison transmitted final coordination instructions to all team elements, his professional demeanor masking obvious concerns about depending on unproven marksmanship for mission success. All teams stand by for Overwatch engagement, he announced. Success depends on flawless execution from extreme range. Maya's rifle felt perfectly balanced as she settled into her final shooting position, the weapon's custom modifications optimized for the precise marksmanship that the situation demanded. Her breathing controlled, her position stable, and her calculations complete, she prepared to demonstrate capabilities that would either validate or condemn the SEAL team's skepticism. The target compound spread below her position like a tactical puzzle waiting to be solved through precision and skill. 6 guards stood between the assault team and mission success, each one requiring perfect marksmanship at a range that challenged even the most experienced snipers. Petty Officer Davis made final adjustments to his assault equipment, his movements reflecting the nervous energy that preceded dangerous operations. "Hope Overwatch doesn't freeze when the pressure hits," he whispered to Jackson. "Some people look capable until they have to pull the trigger when lives depend on it." The moment arrived with the precision of military timing as Chief Morrison's voice transmitted the execute order through Maya's earpiece. "Overwatch 1, you're cleared to engage," he announced, his tone carrying the weight of 12 lives, depending on her marksmanship skills at extreme range. Maya's crosshairs settled on the first target in the eastern guard tower, a hostile sentry scanning the perimeter with casual alertness, completely unaware that death approached from 2,000 meters away. Her breathing slowed to the rhythm essential for precision shooting, finger finding the rifle's trigger with practiced familiarity. Petty Officer Rodriguez crouched in the assault staging area, his binoculars trained on the compound while he provided real-time observation for his team. "First shot in 10 seconds, he transmitted, his voice tight with anxiety about the challenging marksmanship required. "If she misses this one, the whole compound goes on alert." The rifle's recoil surprised Maya despite her preparation, the powerful cartridge sending its projectile across the valley toward the unsuspecting guard in the tower. 2.5 seconds of flight time at that range meant waiting to confirm impact before engaging the next target in sequence. Through his scope, Lieutenant Commander Hayes watched the first guard collapse silently in his tower position, the precision shot eliminating the threat without alerting nearby hostiles. "Confirmed kill on target 1, he transmitted with obvious relief. "Overwatch 1, engage target 2 immediately." Maya's rifle bolt cycled smoothly as she chambered the second round, her movements efficient and controlled despite the pressure of performing flawlessly under intense scrutiny. The second guard patrolled the compound's northern perimeter, his predictable route providing a clear shooting opportunity. Petty Officer Thompson monitored radio frequencies for any indication that hostile forces had detected the sniper fire, his sensitive equipment scanning for alarm signals that would compromise the entire operation. So far, the compound remained quiet, unaware that their defensive positions were being systematically eliminated. The second shot echoed across the valley as Maya engaged the patrolling guard, her bullet finding its target with the same precision that had eliminated the tower sentry. The hostile dropped instantly, his weapon clattering on concrete, while his teammates remained oblivious to the danger. Chief Morrison felt his skepticism wavering as he observed the flawless execution of extremely difficult shots under combat conditions. 2 down, for remaining, he transmitted his professional assessment acknowledging the superior marksmanship being demonstrated from the Overwatch position. Maya's rifle scope tracked to the third target, another tower guard who had begun moving restlessly as if sensing something wrong with the morning routine. This shot required leading the moving target while compensating for the increased range and angle differential. Petty Officer Jackson prepared his assault team for immediate movement once Overwatch completed the shooting sequence, his weapons check revealing the nervous energy that preceded dangerous operations. "She's actually hitting them," he said to Davis with obvious surprise. "Maybe we underestimated her capabilities." The third shot proved more challenging as the target moved unpredictably behind partial cover, forcing Maya to wait for the optimal moment when the guard exposed himself for a clear shot. Patience remained critical for maintaining the precision required at extreme range. Lieutenant Commander Hayes tracked the mission timeline, noting that Maya's shooting pace exceeded expectations while maintaining perfect accuracy. The assault team needed to begin movement within 3 minutes to capitalize on the window of opportunity created by Overwatch fire. Maya's fourth shot eliminated the restless tower guard, her bullet striking center mass despite the target's movement and the challenging angle from her elevated position. The compound's defensive capabilities were being systematically dismantled through superior marksmanship skills. Petty Officer Rodriguez adjusted his position in preparation for the assault team's advance, his earlier skepticism replaced by professional respect for the exceptional shooting being demonstrated. 4 consecutive hits at that range, he said to Thompson. That's world-class marksmanship under combat pressure. The 5th target presented the most difficult shot due to his position behind partial concealment and his tendency to remain stationary for only brief moments. Maya waited patiently for the perfect opportunity, her rifle steady despite the physical demands of maintaining precision for extended periods. Chief Morrison observed the compound through his binoculars, noting that the remaining guards continued their routines without awareness that their defensive positions had been compromised. The element of surprise remained intact thanks to the silent precision of Overwatch elimination. Maya's 5th shot found his target during a brief moment when the guards stepped into the open, her bullet crossing the valley with lethal accuracy to eliminate another threat to the assault team's approach. 5 down, with 1 remaining, the most critical target in the command tower. The final guard occupied the central command position with communication equipment and alarm systems that could alert the entire compound if he detected the assault team's approach. This shot required absolute precision to prevent any possibility of raising an alarm. Petty Officer Wilson checked his assault rifle one final time, the familiar weight providing confidence as the team prepared for their dangerous advance toward the compound. The Overwatch support had exceeded all expectations, providing perfect conditions for their assault. Maya settled her crosshairs on the final target, the command tower guard who represented the last obstacle between the SEAL team and their objective. The range required maximum precision while accounting for the slight wind that had developed as morning temperatures changed. Lieutenant Commander Hayes coordinated final preparations with his team leaders, the success of Overwatch fire creating optimal conditions for the assault phase of the operation. All teams stand by for movement, he transmitted. Overwatch has provided perfect tactical advantage. The 6th and final shot echoed across the valley as Maya completed the shooting sequence that had eliminated every defensive position threatening the assault team's approach. 6 targets at extreme range in under 4 minutes, a demonstration of marksmanship that silenced every doubt about her capabilities. Chief Morrison stared at the compound through his binoculars, all guard positions eliminated without a single alert being raised. Outstanding marksmanship. Overwatch 1, he transmitted, his voice carrying newfound respect. You've given us perfect conditions for assault. The skeptical comments about her abilities have been replaced by professional acknowledgement of exceptional skill under extreme pressure. The SEAL assault team moved through the valley with renewed confidence, their earlier skepticism about Overwatch support replaced by professional appreciation for the flawless marksmanship that had cleared their approach route. Chief Morrison led the advance, his movements swift and precise as they closed distance toward the now defenseless compound. Maya maintained her Overwatch position, scanning for additional threats while monitoring the assault team's progress through a rifle scope. The compound's interior remained quiet, with hostile forces unaware that their perimeter defenses had been systematically eliminated by precision fire from extreme range. Petty Officer Rodriguez reached the compound's outer wall first, his tactical approach benefiting from the complete absence of guard tower surveillance that would have made advancement impossible. He signaled the all-clear to his teammates while acknowledging the tactical advantage provided by exceptional Overwatch support. Through her communication system, Maya coordinated with the assault team by providing real-time intelligence about compound layout and potential threat areas visible from her elevated position. Her tactical perspective proved invaluable for guiding the team through the most secure approach routes. Lieutenant Commander Hayes moved his command element to an advanced position where he could coordinate the complex operation while maintaining communication with all team elements. The success of Overwatch fire had created perfect conditions for the assault phase, exceeding his most optimistic expectations. Petty Officer Thompson breached the compound's perimeter fence, his movements confident and efficient thanks to the absence of defensive fire that would have pinned down his team in the open. The precision marksmanship from Overwatch had eliminated every threat that could have compromised their advance. Maya's scope revealed additional intelligence about the compound's interior layout as the assault team penetrated deeper into the facility. She transmitted detailed information about building configurations, potential escape routes, and areas where additional hostiles might be concealed. Chief Morrison's team reached the primary objective building without encountering resistance, their tactical advance proceeding smoothly due to the comprehensive elimination of perimeter defenses. The operation was unfolding exactly as planned thanks to the superior Overwatch support that had exceeded all expectations. The compound's main building showed signs of activity as hostile forces inside began responding to the absence of radio contact from their perimeter guards. Maya observed movement through windows and transmitted warnings about potential threats that the assault team couldn't see from ground level. Petty Officer Jackson positioned his team for building entry, his confidence bolstered by the knowledge that Overwatch continued providing tactical intelligence and threat assessment from the commanding ridge position. The partnership between ground and Overwatch elements was proving devastatingly effective. Maya identified 3 additional hostiles moving toward defensive positions inside the compound, their locations visible through her scope but hidden from the assault team's perspective. She transmitted precise coordinates and movement patterns to help the ground team prepare for contact. Lieutenant Commander Hayes coordinated the final assault phase while acknowledging the critical role that Overwatch Fire had played in mission success. The elimination of perimeter defenses had allowed his team to reach their objective without casualties or compromise, a tactical advantage that rarely occurred in hostile territory. The assault team encountered their first resistance as hostile forces inside the buildings began responding to the coordinated attack. Maya provided continuous support by identifying threat positions and coordinating fire support that kept the enemy suppressed while SEAL operators advanced. Petty Officer Davis engaged hostile targets inside the compound while benefiting from tactical intelligence provided by Overwatch observation of areas he couldn't see. The coordination between elevated observation and ground assault created a devastating combination that overwhelmed defensive positions. Maya's position allowed her to observe the entire tactical situation while providing critical support that prevented hostile forces from flanking or surprising the assault team. Her elevated perspective proved invaluable for maintaining tactical awareness during the dynamic combat situation. Chief Morrison led his team through the compound's interior, their movements guided by continuous intelligence updates from Overwatch that kept them informed about threat locations and defensive positions. The partnership between ground and Overwatch elements was functioning with exceptional effectiveness. The mission objective came into view as the assault team reached the central building, their tactical advance having succeeded due to the comprehensive elimination of defensive positions that could have prevented their approach. Maya continued providing security Overwatch while monitoring for reinforcements. Petty Officer Wilson secured critical intelligence materials while his teammates maintained security, their operations proceeding smoothly thanks to the tactical advantage created by Overwatch elimination of perimeter threats. The compound had been effectively neutralized through superior coordination and marksmanship. Maya observed potential escape routes and reinforcement approaches while maintaining security for the assault team during their time inside the compound. Her vigilant observation from the ridge position ensured that no threats could approach undetected while the team completed their mission. Lieutenant Commander Hayes coordinated extraction procedures as the assault team prepared to withdraw from the compound with their mission objectives accomplished. The operation had succeeded beyond expectations due to the exceptional Overwatch support that had eliminated every defensive threat. The compound search revealed valuable intelligence and confirmed the elimination of high-value targets, validating the mission's strategic importance while demonstrating the effectiveness of coordinated operations between specialized elements. Maya's contribution had proven decisive for mission success. Chief Morrison transmitted mission completion to higher command while acknowledging the critical role that Overwatch Fire had played in achieving tactical surprise and maintaining operational security. The flawless marksmanship had enabled a perfect assault with no friendly casualties. Maya prepared for extraction while continuing to provide security Overwatch as the assault team withdrew from the compound toward their extraction point. Her exceptional performance had transformed the SEAL team's perception of her capabilities while proving her value as an elite operator. The successful mission would be remembered as a demonstration of perfect coordination between Overwatch and assault elements, with Maya's marksmanship providing the foundation for tactical success that had seemed impossible given the compound's defensive positions and hostile force strength. The mission's success created a temporary calm as the SEAL team secured the compound and prepared for extraction. But Maya's scope revealed movement in the distant hills that would change everything. Vehicle dust clouds approached from multiple directions, indicating hostile reinforcements converging on their position with overwhelming numerical superiority. Chief Morrison received Maya's intelligence report through his communication system, the news transforming their tactical celebration into urgent concern for survival. Multiple vehicle columns approaching from 3 directions, she transmitted, her voice steady despite the implications. Estimated 40 to 50 hostiles with heavy weapons. Arrival in 15 minutes. Lieutenant Commander Hayes immediately coordinated with extraction assets while calculating the impossible mathematics of evacuating his team before hostile reinforcements arrived. The helicopter couldn't reach their position for 30 minutes, leaving a dangerous gap where his operators would face overwhelming odds in open terrain. Maya counted 8 vehicles in the approaching columns, each one carrying armed hostiles who would have significant firepower advantages over the isolated SEAL team. Her elevated position provided early warning, but the tactical situation had shifted from mission success to potential disaster in moments. Petty Officer Rodriguez gathered intelligence materials while his teammates prepared defensive positions, their confidence shaken by the realization that superior numbers were approaching their extraction point. The compound offered some cover, but defending against multiple assault columns would stretch their capabilities beyond reasonable limits. Through her rifle scope, Maya observed the lead vehicles more closely, identifying heavy machine guns and rocket-propelled grenades that would make the SEAL team's defensive position untenable. The approaching force possessed sufficient firepower to overrun any defensive positions the operators could establish. Chief Morrison transmitted extraction updates to his team while privately calculating their chances of survival against the approaching hostile force. Extraction delayed by 20 minutes, he announced, his professional demeanor masking serious concerns about holding their position against overwhelming odds. The tactical situation deteriorated rapidly as Maya reported additional vehicle movements that suggested the hostile reinforcements were coordinating a systematic assault on the compound. They're establishing blocking positions on all evacuation routes, she transmitted, her intelligence painting an increasingly desperate picture. Petty Officer Thompson checked his ammunition supply while preparing for what promised to be an intense firefight against superior numbers. The team carried sufficient ammunition for normal operations, but prolonged defensive action against 40 hostiles would quickly exhaust their combat supplies. Maya's Overwatch position remained secure for the moment, but the approaching vehicles included elements that might attempt to flank the ridge and eliminate her tactical advantage. She prepared contingency plans for displacement while maintaining observation of the developing threat. Lieutenant Commander Hayes coordinated with air support assets, requesting immediate assistance that might even the tactical odds against the approaching hostile force. Close air support remained 25 minutes away, too distant to prevent the initial assault, but potentially available for extraction support. The first hostile vehicles reached positions where they could observe the compound, their occupants dismounting and establishing firing positions that would dominate the SEAL team's defensive options. Maya transmitted detailed intelligence about enemy positions and weapons configurations. Petty Officer Jackson distributed ammunition among his teammates while acknowledging the mathematical reality of their tactical situation. 12 operators against 50 hostiles with heavy weapons, he said grimly to Davis. We need a miracle or superior positioning to survive this engagement. Maya identified the hostile force's command element, establishing coordination among the various vehicle columns, their tactical deployment suggesting experienced leadership and systematic assault planning. The approaching attack would be coordinated and professional, not the random violence of untrained fighters. Chief Morrison evaluated defensive positions within the compound while coordinating with Maya's Overwatch intelligence to identify the most defensible areas. The buildings offered limited protection against the heavy weapons approaching, but concentrating defensive fires might allow survival until extraction arrived. The hostile reinforcements completed their deployment in a coordinated pattern that demonstrated tactical competence and overwhelming firepower advantage. Maya counted heavy machine guns, rocket-propelled grenades, and automatic weapons that would saturate any defensive positions the SEAL team could establish. Petty Officer Wilson prepared his assault rifle for defensive combat while calculating ammunition expenditure rates against the approaching numbers. Each operator would need to maintain precise fire discipline to conserve ammunition while engaging multiple targets simultaneously. Maya's elevated position provided the only tactical advantage available to the outnumbered SEAL team. Her ability to observe hostile movements and coordinate defensive fires representing their best hope for survival. The partnership between Overwatch and ground elements would be tested under the most extreme conditions. Lieutenant Commander Hayes transmitted final coordination instructions while acknowledging that the next 20 minutes would determine whether his entire team survived the mission. The tactical situation had evolved from success to survival, with Maya's Overwatch position representing their primary tactical asset. The hostile assault began with suppressive fire designed to pin down the SEAL team, while assault elements maneuvered for advantageous positions. Maya observed the coordinated attack developing while preparing to provide the exceptional marksmanship that might allow her teammates to survive. Chief Morrison's voice carried through the communication system as hostile fire began impacting their defensive positions. All teams maintain discipline and conserve ammunition, he transmitted. Overwatch 1, we need precision fire on their command elements to disrupt their coordination. Maya settled into her rifle position as the tactical situation transformed from mission completion to desperate survival, her exceptional marksmanship skills representing the SEAL team's best hope against overwhelming odds. The approaching battle would test every capability she possessed while determining whether professional respect could be earned through performance under the most extreme pressure imaginable. The hostile assault erupted with coordinated violence as heavy machine gun fire raked the compound's defensive positions, forcing the SEAL team into whatever cover they could find while Maya observed the systematic attack developing below. Muzzle flashes erupted from multiple positions as 47 hostiles executed a professional assault designed to overwhelm the isolated operators. Maya's rifle scope tracked the hostile command element, directing the assault from a protected position behind their lead vehicle. The enemy leader coordinating fire teams through radio communication while maintaining tactical control of the complex engagement. Her first shot eliminated the primary coordinator, causing immediate confusion in the assault pattern. Chief Morrison pressed himself against concrete cover as automatic weapons fired chewed chunks from the wall above his position. The volume of incoming fire demonstrating the overwhelming firepower disadvantage his team faced. Overwatch 1, we need immediate fire on those heavy weapons positions, he transmitted, his voice strained over the combat noise. Petty Officer Rodriguez returned precise rifle fire from his defensive position while hostile bullets sparked off nearby metal surfaces, the sound of incoming rounds creating a deadly symphony that threatened to pin down his entire team. The mathematical reality of their ammunition supply became critically important as the engagement intensified. Maya's second shot silenced a heavy machine gun position that had been suppressing the SEAL team's eastern flank, her bullet finding the gunner at 2,300 meters despite the challenging conditions of active combat. The elimination of the heavy weapon provided temporary relief for operators trapped in that sector. The hostile force adapted quickly to the Overwatch threat, with several fighters attempting to identify Maya's position while maintaining their assault on the compound below. Rocket-propelled grenades began targeting areas of the ridge where they suspected the devastating sniper fire originated. Lieutenant Commander Hayes coordinated defensive fires while calculating ammunition expenditure rates that would determine his team's survival chances. Each operator carried limited combat loads designed for assault operations, not prolonged defensive engagement against numerically superior forces with heavy weapon support. Maya eliminated a rocket-propelled grenade team preparing to engage the compound's main building, her precision shooting preventing devastating explosive damage that could have collapsed the SEAL team's primary defensive position. The tactical impact of her marksmanship continued, providing critical advantages in the desperate engagement. Petty Officer Thompson engaged hostile fighters attempting to flank the compound's northern perimeter, his accurate rifle fire keeping assault teams at distance, while consuming precious ammunition at unsustainable rates. The volume of fire required for effective defense exceeded their logistical capabilities for extended engagement. The enemy assault intensified as remaining command elements reorganized their attack, concentrating firepower on specific sectors while attempting to overwhelm defensive positions through coordinated rushes. Maya identified priority targets and eliminated key leaders, but the numerical disadvantage remained overwhelming. Chief Morrison's ammunition indicator showed critical levels as the firefight continued, consuming combat supplies faster than anticipated, each engagement requiring careful target selection to maximize effectiveness while conserving resources. The team's survival depended on extraction arriving before defensive capabilities were exhausted. Maya's rifle barrel heated from continuous precision shooting as she systematically eliminated threats that posed the greatest danger to the surrounded SEAL team. Her elevated position allowed identification of priority targets, but the volume of hostiles required constant engagement to maintain tactical balance. Petty Officer Jackson coordinated ammunition redistribution among his teammates while maintaining defensive fire against assault teams attempting to breach the compound's perimeter. The professional efficiency of their defensive actions reflected years of training, but training hadn't prepared them for such overwhelming numerical disadvantage. The hostile force concentrated their assault on the compound's western wall, attempting to create a breach through coordinated rocket-propelled grenade attacks while suppressing defensive positions with heavy machine gun fire. Maya observed the tactical development and prioritized targets to disrupt the concentrated assault. Lieutenant Commander Hayes transmitted extraction updates while engaging hostile fighters with precise rifle fire, his professional calm masking serious concerns about his team's survival chances. Extraction assets remained 15 minutes away, an eternity under current engagement conditions. Maya's scope revealed additional hostile reinforcements approaching from previously unobserved directions, the enemy force growing beyond her initial estimates as more fighters arrive to overwhelm the isolated operators. She transmitted updated intelligence while continuing to provide precision fire support. The tactical situation deteriorated as hostile forces established firing positions that dominated multiple approaches to the compound, creating overlapping fields of fire that would make extraction extremely hazardous even when helicopter support arrived. Maya identified key positions requiring elimination before extraction could succeed. Petty Officer Davis engaged assault teams with controlled bursts of automatic fire, while his ammunition supply approached critical levels, each burst carefully calculated to maximize effectiveness against multiple targets. The mathematics of sustained combat were working against the outnumbered SEAL team. Maya eliminated another heavy weapons team attempting to establish a devastating crossfire position, her exceptional marksmanship continuing to provide tactical advantages that kept the defensive situation manageable despite overwhelming odds. The partnership between Overwatch and ground elements remained their primary survival asset. Chief Morrison coordinated final defensive preparations as his team's ammunition supplies reached critical thresholds, each operator conserving rounds for the most threatening targets while preparing for potential close-quarters combat. Maya's Overwatch position represented their most effective remaining combat capability. The hostile assault reached maximum intensity as enemy fighters attempted to overwhelm defensive positions through coordinated rushes supported by suppressive fire from heavy weapons. Maya's rifle became the critical factor determining whether the SEAL team could survive until extraction arrived. The sound of approaching helicopters created hope among the embattled operators. But the tactical situation remained desperate as hostile forces intensified their assault to prevent successful extraction. Maya prepared for the most challenging shooting of her career as the battle reached its climactic phase. The extraction helicopters approached through hostile fire as Maya observed enemy fighters repositioning to engage the aircraft with rocket-propelled grenades and heavy machine guns, their tactical deployment threatening to turn the rescue mission into a catastrophic loss of both ground team and air assets. Chief Morrison's ammunition ran critically low as he engaged hostile assault teams, attempting to breach the compound's final defensive perimeter, each shot requiring perfect accuracy to conserve remaining rounds while maintaining effective resistance against overwhelming numbers. Maya identified 6 rocket-propelled grenade teams positioning to engage the approaching helicopters, their weapons capable of destroying the extraction aircraft and eliminating any hope of survival for the surrounded SEAL team. Her rifle scope tracked between multiple priority targets, requiring immediate elimination. The lead extraction helicopter began its approach descent while hostile fire intensified dramatically, tracer rounds creating deadly streams of light that threatened to bring down the aircraft before it could reach the embattled operators. Maya's precision shooting became the critical factor determining extraction success. Petty Officer Rodriguez fired his final magazine while preparing for close-quarters combat, the mathematical reality of ammunition expenditure having reached its inevitable conclusion. The team's survival now depended entirely on Maya's ability to suppress enough threats for successful helicopter extraction. Maya's rifle eliminated the first rocket-propelled grenade team, targeting the lead helicopter, her bullet finding the gunner at extreme range while he prepared to fire the weapon that could have destroyed their only hope of survival. The shot created a brief window of opportunity for aircraft approach. Lieutenant Commander Hayes coordinated extraction procedures while engaging hostile fighters with his sidearm, the team's primary weapons having exhausted their ammunition supplies during the prolonged defensive engagement. Maya's overwatch position represented their only remaining effective combat capability. The extraction helicopter took multiple hits from small arms fire as it descended toward the compound's landing zone, the aircraft's armor absorbing punishment, while the pilot maintained his approach despite the obvious danger to his crew and aircraft. Maya eliminated a second rocket-propelled grenade team, preparing to engage the damaged helicopter, her exceptional marksmanship preventing catastrophic damage that would have eliminated extraction possibilities. The tactical situation balanced on the edge of success or complete disaster. Petty Officer Thompson reached the extraction point with his ammunition completely exhausted, his survival depending entirely on Maya's ability to suppress hostile fire during the critical boarding phase. The partnership between Overwatch and ground elements had become absolutely essential for mission survival. Chief Morrison coordinated his team's movement toward the extraction helicopter while Maya provided continuous precision fire against threats attempting to prevent successful boarding. Her elevated position allowed identification and engagement of targets that posed immediate danger to the extraction process. The helicopter's crew chief returned fire with mounted weapons while his aircraft absorbed additional damage from coordinated hostile assault, the extraction becoming a race between successful boarding and catastrophic aircraft loss. Maya's support fire proved critical for maintaining tactical balance. Maya's rifle scope tracked between multiple targets as hostile fighters attempted to overwhelm the extraction site through coordinated rushes, her exceptional shooting preventing breakthrough attempts that could have resulted in close-quarters combat around the vulnerable helicopter. Petty Officer Jackson reached the aircraft safely thanks to Maya's precision suppression of threats targeting the landing zone, his successful boarding representing one small victory in the desperate extraction battle. Each operator's survival depended on Maya's continued exceptional performance. The hostile force concentrated their remaining heavy weapons on the extraction helicopter, creating a devastating crossfire that threatened to destroy the aircraft before all operators could board successfully. Maya identified priority targets, requiring immediate elimination to preserve extraction capabilities. Lieutenant Commander Hayes boarded the helicopter while coordinating final extraction procedures. His team's survival, depending on Maya's ability to maintain suppressive fire until the aircraft could depart safely. The tactical situation remained critically dangerous despite partial success. Maya eliminated another heavy machine gun position, threatening the helicopter extraction, her bullets silencing the weapon at maximum effective range, while hostile fire continued impacting around her concealed position. The enemy force was adapting to her location and increasing direct threats. Chief Morrison confirmed final operator headcount while the helicopter prepared for immediate departure, the aircraft having sustained significant damage during the extraction process. Maya's overwatch position had proven decisive for successful personnel recovery under impossible circumstances. The extraction helicopter lifted off under continued hostile fire as Maya maintained suppressive shooting against threats attempting to bring down the departing aircraft, her precision marksmanship providing critical protection during the most vulnerable phase of extraction. Petty Officer Davis transmitted acknowledgement of successful extraction while observing Maya's continued defensive fire from her isolated ridge position, his professional respect complete for the exceptional performance that had enabled their survival against overwhelming odds. Maya's tactical situation became increasingly dangerous as hostile forces concentrated their attention on her overwatch position. Rocket-propelled grenades and heavy machine gun fire targeting the ridge where she had provided the critical support that saved the entire SEAL team. The extraction helicopter cleared immediate threat range while Maya continued engaging hostile targets from her increasingly compromised position, her exceptional marksmanship having proven decisive for mission success despite facing impossible tactical odds. Lieutenant Commander Hayes coordinated with 2nd Extraction aircraft approaching Maya's ridge position, the recovery of Overwatch becoming the final critical phase of an operation that had succeeded entirely due to her exceptional capabilities under extreme pressure. Maya prepared for her own extraction while continuing to engage hostile threats, her ammunition supplies running low after providing the exceptional shooting performance that had enabled an entire SEAL team to survive against overwhelming numerical and firepower disadvantages. The tactical situation had evolved from skepticism about her capabilities to complete dependence on her exceptional skills, with 12 elite operators owing their survival to marksmanship that exceeded every expectation and proved her worth beyond any possible doubt. Maya's ridge position came under concentrated assault as hostile forces directed their full attention toward eliminating the sniper who had devastated their ranks and enabled the SEAL team's extraction. Rocket-propelled grenades exploded against rock formations around her concealed firing position, while heavy machine gun fire swept the area systematically. The 2nd Extraction helicopter approached through intense ground fire, its pilot navigating between tracer streams and explosive detonations while attempting to reach Maya's increasingly compromised Overwatch position. The aircraft took multiple hits during its approach, armor plating absorbing punishment that threatened critical systems. Maya displaced from her primary firing position as hostile fighters began scaling the ridge from multiple directions, their coordinated assault designed to eliminate the tactical advantage she had provided throughout the engagement. Her exceptional marksmanship had made her the priority target for elimination. Chief Morrison monitored Maya's situation from the departing helicopter, his professional concern evident as he observed the concentrated hostile assault developing around her position. Overwatch 1, you have multiple assault teams approaching your location. He transmitted, his voice tight with anxiety about her survival prospects. The hostile force had learned from their devastating losses during the compound engagement, adapting their tactics to neutralize the exceptional sniper who had systematically eliminated their leadership and heavy weapons teams. Maya counted at least 20 fighters converging on her ridge position from 3 separate approach routes. Maya's ammunition supply reached critical levels as she engaged hostile assault teams, climbing toward her position, each shot requiring perfect accuracy to conserve remaining rounds while maintaining effective defense against overwhelming numbers. The mathematical reality of sustained combat was working against her survival. Lieutenant Commander Hayes coordinated with the extraction pilot while observing the desperate situation developing around Maya's overwatch position, the tactical circumstances becoming increasingly impossible despite her exceptional performance throughout the engagement. The Ridge Assault represented the enemy's final attempt at revenge. Hostile fighters reached positions where they could observe Maya's general location, their assault rifles and automatic weapons creating suppressive fire patterns designed to pin her down while assault teams maneuvered for advantageous positions. The tactical situation had reversed completely from her earlier dominance. Maya eliminated the lead assault team with precise rifle fire despite the challenging conditions of movement and incoming suppression, her exceptional marksmanship continuing to provide tactical advantages even under the most extreme pressure. Each shot counted critically as her ammunition dwindled toward exhaustion. The extraction helicopter pilot fought to maintain aircraft control as ground fire damaged critical systems. His determination to recover the exceptional sniper who had saved an entire SEAL team, driving him to continue the dangerous approach despite obvious risks to his crew and aircraft. Petty Officer Rodriguez watched Maya's situation through binoculars from the departing helicopter, his earlier skepticism completely transformed into professional respect and personal concern for the operator whose exceptional capabilities had enabled their survival. "She saved all our lives," he said quietly to Thompson. Maya's rifle scope tracked between multiple targets as hostile assault teams attempted to overwhelm her position through coordinated rushes, the enemy fighters demonstrating tactical competence and determination to eliminate the sniper who had devastated their forces during the compound engagement. The hostile assault reached maximum intensity as fighters approached Maya's position from multiple directions simultaneously. Their coordinated attack, designed to prevent escape while overwhelming her defensive capabilities through superior numbers and sustained pressure. Maya's final magazine contained 12 rounds as she prepared for the climactic engagement that would determine her survival against overwhelming odds, each bullet requiring perfect placement to maintain defensive effectiveness while the extraction helicopter fought to reach her position. Chief Morrison transmitted encouragement through the communication system while observing the desperate tactical situation developing around Maya's ridge position. His professional assessment acknowledging the exceptional performance that had characterized her entire mission contribution. The extraction helicopter reached Maya's general area despite suffering significant battle damage, its pilot demonstrating exceptional courage and skill while attempting to provide extraction opportunities under intense hostile fire from multiple directions. Maya engaged the nearest assault team with controlled precision fire, her exceptional marksmanship eliminating immediate threats while conserving ammunition for the continuous stream of hostiles approaching her increasingly compromised defensive position. Lieutenant Commander Hayes coordinated with air support assets approaching the battlefield, close air support finally arriving to provide tactical assistance that might enable successful extraction despite the overwhelming hostile presence concentrated around Maya's position. The tactical situation balanced precariously between successful extraction and catastrophic loss as Maya continued demonstrating the exceptional capabilities that had transformed initial skepticism into complete professional respect from elite operators who now understood her true worth. Hostile fighters reached positions where direct assault on Maya's location became imminent, their tactical coordination and numerical superiority creating circumstances that would test every skill she possessed while determining whether exceptional performance could overcome impossible odds. Maya prepared for close-quarters engagement as her rifle ammunition approached complete exhaustion, the tactical situation having evolved from long-range precision shooting to immediate survival against multiple assault teams converging on her position simultaneously. The extraction helicopter pilot maintained his approach despite obvious dangers to aircraft and crew, his determination to recover the exceptional operator whose marksmanship had saved 12 SEAL lives, driving him to continue the mission despite overwhelming hostile fire. Chief Morrison's voice carried through Maya's communication system as the tactical situation reached its climactic phase, his words reflecting the complete transformation from skepticism to respect that her exceptional performance had earned from every operator who had witnessed her capabilities. The hostile assault teams prepared for final coordinated rush toward Maya's position as extraction assets fought to provide recovery opportunities, the tactical balance hanging on whether exceptional individual performance could overcome overwhelming numerical and positional disadvantages in the concluding moments of an extraordinary engagement. Maya's rifle clicked empty as the final round eliminated the closest hostile fighter, the mechanical sound signaling the end of her long-range capabilities just as 20 assault team members reached positions for coordinated rushes toward her ridge location. The tactical situation had compressed into close-quarters survival against overwhelming odds. The extraction helicopter pilot pushed his damaged aircraft beyond safe operational limits while attempting to reach Maya's position, his rotors struggling against battle damage that threatened catastrophic failure at any moment. Ground fire continued, impacting the aircraft's hull as he fought to maintain controlled flight. Maya drew her sidearm as hostile fighters began their final assault up the rocky slope, their tactical coordination and numerical superiority creating circumstances that would have overwhelmed most operators. Her exceptional training and combat experience became the only factors preventing immediate tactical defeat. Chief Morrison watched the desperate situation through binoculars from his departing helicopter, his professional assessment acknowledging that Maya faced impossible odds despite the exceptional performance that had saved his entire team. Overwatch 1 has hostiles at close range, he transmitted grimly to extraction assets. The close air support aircraft finally reached the battlefield, their arrival creating new tactical possibilities as precision ordnance began impacting hostile positions around Maya's ridge location. The coordinated air assault provided temporary relief from the overwhelming ground assault. Maya engaged the leading assault team with precise pistol fire while using terrain features for protection against incoming rifle rounds, her movement between cover positions demonstrating the tactical proficiency that had characterized her entire mission performance. Lieutenant Commander Hayes coordinated between extraction and close air support assets while observing Maya's desperate tactical situation, his professional respect for her capabilities driving his determination to provide every possible assistance for her survival. Hostile fighters pressed their assault despite close air support impacts, their determination to eliminate the exceptional sniper who had devastated their forces throughout the engagement, overriding tactical caution about continuing under air attack. Maya's pistol ammunition dwindled rapidly as she engaged multiple targets at close range, each shot requiring perfect accuracy to maintain defensive effectiveness, while hostile assault teams continued advancing despite mounting casualties from air support strikes. The extraction helicopter reached Maya's immediate area despite suffering critical damage, its pilot demonstrating exceptional courage while attempting to provide extraction opportunities under intense hostile fire from remaining assault teams. Petty Officer Rodriguez observed Maya's situation with professional amazement as she continued demonstrating exceptional combat capabilities despite facing impossible tactical circumstances, her performance under extreme pressure validating every assessment of her exceptional abilities. Maya eliminated the nearest hostile fighters with controlled pistol fire while moving between defensive positions, her tactical movement and accurate shooting maintaining defensive effectiveness despite overwhelming numerical disadvantage and critical ammunition shortage. The close air support strikes disrupted hostile assault coordination while creating opportunities for Maya to reposition toward potential extraction areas, the precision ordnance eliminating key threats while avoiding damage to friendly forces in the immediate engagement zone. Chief Morrison transmitted tactical updates to air support assets while coordinating Maya's extraction, his professional competence focused entirely on recovering the exceptional operator whose marksmanship had enabled 12 SEAL operators to survive overwhelming odds. Maya reached her final defensive position as hostile assault teams regrouped for coordinated rushes, their tactical determination undiminished despite suffering significant casualties from close air support and her exceptional defensive shooting. The extraction helicopter pilot fought to maintain aircraft control while positioning for immediate personnel recovery, his damaged rotors creating unstable flight characteristics that threatened catastrophic failure during the critical extraction phase. Lieutenant Commander Hayes observed the tactical climax developing around Maya's position, his professional assessment acknowledging that her survival would represent the ultimate validation of exceptional individual performance against impossible circumstances. Maya's final pistol magazine contained 8 rounds as she prepared for the concluding engagement against remaining hostile assault teams, each bullet requiring perfect placement to maintain defensive capability while extraction assets positioned for immediate recovery. The hostile assault teams prepared for final coordinated rushes toward Maya's position despite close air support continuing to impact their ranks, their tactical determination reflecting the significant threat her exceptional capabilities had posed throughout the entire engagement. Maya engaged the final assault wave with controlled precision shooting while moving toward the extraction helicopter's approach area. Her exceptional marksmanship and tactical movement demonstrating capabilities that exceeded every initial assessment by skeptical SEAL operators. Chief Morrison's voice carried through Maya's communication system as the tactical situation reached its absolute climax, his words reflecting complete professional respect for performance that had transformed initial doubt into unwavering confidence in her exceptional abilities. The extraction helicopter reached critical position for personnel recovery, while Maya continued engaging hostile threats with her remaining ammunition. The tactical coordination between air and ground elements representing the culmination of exceptional individual performance under impossible circumstances. Maya's exceptional shooting eliminated the final immediate threats as extraction assets positioned for immediate recovery, her defensive performance having exceeded every possible expectation while demonstrating capabilities that validated complete professional respect from elite operators. The hostile assault reached its conclusion as close air support and Maya's exceptional defensive shooting combined to eliminate remaining threats, her individual performance having overcome impossible tactical odds through superior marksmanship and exceptional combat proficiency. Lieutenant Commander Hayes coordinated final extraction procedures as Maya moved toward the helicopter landing area, her survival representing the ultimate demonstration of exceptional individual capabilities under the most extreme combat conditions imaginable. Maya's exceptional performance throughout the entire engagement had transformed initial skepticism into complete professional respect, while proving her capabilities exceeded every assessment by elite operators who now understood her true worth as an exceptional combat professional. The extraction helicopter touched down through dissipating smoke and scattered debris as Maya emerged from the rocky terrain, her rifle slung across her back and sidearms still in hand, walking with the calm confidence of someone who had just demonstrated capabilities that defied every initial assessment by elite operators. Chief Morrison watched through the aircraft's open door as Maya approached the helicopter, his weathered face reflecting the complete transformation from skepticism to professional awe that her exceptional performance had created among 12 SEAL operators who thought they had seen everything combat could offer. Petty Officer Rodriguez reached out to help Maya aboard the extraction helicopter, his gesture carrying the respect that replaced his earlier betting about her failure rates. "Nobody hits 6 targets at that range," he said quietly, shaking his head in amazement. "Nobody eliminates that many hostiles in close combat with 8 pistol rounds." Maya settled into the helicopter seat while checking her equipment with the same methodical precision that had characterized every aspect of her performance, her calm demeanor contrasting sharply with the intensity of combat that had just concluded around the ridge position. Lieutenant Commander Hayes transmitted mission completion reports while observing Maya's professional conduct, his tactical assessment acknowledging that her individual performance had enabled mission success that would have been impossible without exceptional marksmanship and combat capabilities exceeding all expectations. The helicopter lifted off from the hostile territory as close air support continued neutralizing remaining threats. The extraction successful due entirely to Maya's ability to survive impossible tactical circumstances while demonstrating shooting skills that had saved 12 elite operators. Petty Officer Thompson sat across from Maya during the extraction flight, his earlier concerns about her capabilities replaced by professional respect for performance that had redefined his understanding of exceptional marksmanship under extreme pressure. "She eliminated every target we needed," he said to Jackson. "Every single one." Chief Morrison approached Maya's position in the helicopter cabin, his expression carrying the weight of someone whose entire team owed their survival to exceptional individual performance. "That was the finest shooting I've witnessed in 23 years of combat operations," he said simply, his words reflecting complete professional acknowledgement. Maya maintained her equipment inspection routine while acknowledging the transformed atmosphere within the helicopter, the skeptical comments and dismissive observations having been replaced by respectful recognition of capabilities that exceeded every initial assessment by experienced operators. Petty Officer Davis reviewed the tactical engagement through his mental calculations, his professional analysis acknowledging the mathematical impossibility of Maya's performance under the circumstances they had faced. 6 precision shots at extreme range, then close combat survival against 20 hostiles, he said quietly to Wilson. The extraction flight continued toward friendly territory as Maya remained focused on her professional responsibilities, her conduct reflecting the exceptional standards that had enabled survival and mission success under circumstances that would have defeated most operators regardless of training or experience. Lieutenant Commander Hayes coordinated with higher command while drafting after-action reports that would acknowledge Maya's decisive contributions to mission success, her performance having exceeded every metric for exceptional individual capability under extreme combat conditions. Petty Officer Jackson observed Maya's calm professionalism during the extraction flight, her demeanor reflecting the exceptional mental discipline that had enabled flawless performance under the most extreme pressure imaginable. "She never lost composure," he said to Rodriguez. "Not once during the entire engagement." Maya completed her equipment accountability while the helicopter approached friendly airspace, her methodical attention to detail demonstrating the professional standards that had characterized every aspect of her exceptional performance throughout the challenging mission. Chief Morrison addressed his entire team during the extraction flight, his words acknowledging the exceptional performance that had enabled their survival while transforming every assessment of individual capability under extreme circumstances. Overwatch 1 saved 12 lives today through exceptional marksmanship that exceeded every possible expectation. The tactical debrief would acknowledge Maya's performance as exceptional by any standard, her individual contributions having enabled mission success while demonstrating capabilities that redefined elite operator performance under the most challenging combat conditions. If this story moved you, share your thoughts about your favorite moment or character, or tell us about someone you know who showed hidden strength under pressure. Petty Officer Rodriguez approached Maya as the helicopter neared the forward operating base, his words carrying the complete professional respect that her performance had earned from operators who had initially questioned her capabilities. "We owe you everything," he said simply. "Every one of us goes home because of your exceptional shooting." Maya's performance would become legendary within special operations communities, her individual capabilities having exceeded every assessment while demonstrating that exceptional skill and professional dedication could overcome impossible tactical circumstances through superior marksmanship and unwavering determination. Lieutenant Commander Hayes reviewed the mission timeline while acknowledging Maya's decisive contributions at every critical phase, her performance having enabled tactical success that validated complete confidence in exceptional individual capability under extreme combat pressure. The forward operating bays appeared ahead as the extraction helicopter completed its flight from hostile territory, the successful mission representing a testament to exceptional individual performance that had transformed initial skepticism into complete professional respect among elite operators. Maya's exceptional capabilities have been proven beyond any possible doubt through performance that exceeded every expectation while demonstrating that superior skill and professional dedication could achieve tactical success under the most challenging combat conditions imaginable. Chief Morrison's final assessment acknowledged Maya's performance as exceptional by any military standard, her individual contributions having enabled mission success while earning complete professional respect from 12 SEAL operators who now understood her true capabilities as an elite combat professional. The mission's success represented the ultimate validation of exceptional individual performance under extreme circumstances, with Maya's capabilities having exceeded every initial assessment, while demonstrating that professional excellence could overcome impossible tactical odds through superior marksmanship and unwavering determination under pressure.